Good morning, students. Welcome to the GST and Customs Act class. Today, we try to learn or we try to review the features of Indian GST model. Already, these features we have learned in the fifth semester and in the first revision also. So once again, we will try to review the features of Indian GST model. As we know, the Indian GST model is somewhat different from the model adopted by the various countries in the world. And basically, in the world, there are two categories of models: GST models, single GST model, and dual GST model. So many countries in the world have a single unified GST system, that is, a single tax applicable throughout the country. However, in federal countries like Brazil and Canada, a dual GST system is prevalent, whereby GST is levied by both the federal and state or provincial governments. India is a federal country, which means there is a division of power between the federal government and the state governments. Before GST, this meant that each state has its own tax system in addition to the central government's tax system. As a result, business owners had to deal with a variety of complicated state and federal taxes for each sale. Since the taxes were often levied over each other, you ended up paying tax on tax, a problem called cascading effect. Okay, so throughout the world, different countries have adopted different GST models, and in some countries, a single GST model have been adopted, and in some countries, dual GST models have been adopted based on their political division of the powers between the center and the state governments. As far as India is concerned, India is a federal country where the uh, powers, to collect, to levy and collect taxes, indirect taxes from the public or from the traders is divided between the center and the state. Therefore, dual GST model has been adopted. The GST regime replaces those confusing taxes with a single nationwide tax rate. This is intended to unify India's tax system, make it easier to do business and reduce prices for consumers. Because of India's federal structure, dual GST model had been adopted. This means GST is administered by the central government and the states. So, after implementation of the GST in India from July 1st, 2017, it has replaced several old tax regimes, and there is only one tax throughout the nation, that is a GST. Okay, so because of the federal structure of India, dual GST model has been adopted. That means where in India, both state governments as well as the central government will levy and collect the taxes. In India, a dual GST is proposed whereby central goods and service tax, that is a CGST, and a state goods and service tax, that is SGST, will be levied on the taxable value of every transaction of supply of goods and services. So, in India, on each and every transaction, CGST and SGST will be levied. Next, meaning of dual GST model. What do I mean by dual GST model? Dual GST means that GST will be levied simultaneously by center and the state governments. So that is the meaning of dual GST model. That means both center and state will levy simultaneously on a single transaction. Both the state government and the central government will levy and collect the single tax. Hence, every transaction of supply of goods or services shall suffer central GST and state GST when the transaction is within the state. However, when the transaction is between states, there will be integrated goods and service tax, which will be collected by the central government, and then the GST component paid to the state government where the goods and services have been consumed. So accordingly, in the dual GST model, in case of intrastate transaction, that means that when the transactions are within a single state, CGST and SGST will be levied and collected. And if it is intrastate transaction, that is between states, transaction is between states, then IGST will be levied and collected by the central government, and the SGST component will be later paid to the concerned state governments where the goods are consumed. So dual GST is preferred in countries where there is a federal structure of the government. As in this system, states would independent in their revenue source and they do not have to rely on center to share the revenues that they collect. This is important as it will reduce the conflict between center and the state over revenue distribution. So generally, this dual GST model is followed in the countries where there is a federal structure. In the federal structure, state and both state and center will have independence over the revenues, and the states do not depend on the uh, center for uh, getting the revenue. That means this will reduce the conflict between the center and the state. Okay. Why is dual GST model is required in India? Because India is a federal country where both center and the states have been assigned the powers to levy and collect taxes through appropriate legislation. Both the levels of government have distinct responsibilities to perform according to division of powers prescribed in the Constitution, for which they need to raise resources. A dual GST will therefore be keeping with the constitutional requirements of the fiscal federalism. So in India, since both state and central governments have their own independent responsibilities to be performed according to the Indian Constitution, therefore dual GST model has been adopted. So normally, what are the types of dual GST models? Types of dual GST. Normally, there are two types of dual GST model which are as follows. There are generally two types of dual GST models. One is non-concurrent dual GST model. Non-concurrent dual GST model. In non-concurrent dual GST model, center levies GST on services and states levy GST on goods. Okay, so uh, that is a non-concurrent um, model of dual GST. That means here the division is on services the central government will levy tax and on goods state government will levy tax. That's called non-concurrent dual GST model. The second model is concurrent dual GST model. Concurrent dual GST model. In the concurrent dual GST model, taxes levied by center and states on both the goods and services, like in India. Okay, this model is adopted in many countries, for example, Brazil, Canada, and India. Therefore, India has adopted a dual GST model in view of federal structure of the country. Okay, so India has adopted concurrent dual GST model. The need for dual GST model based on the following premises. Why the India has adopted the concurrent dual GST model? Because of these following reasons. Number one is in the pre-GST framework, both levels of government, that is center and state, as per constitution, held concurrent powers to levy tax on domestic goods and services. So as per our Indian constitution, both center and states have divided the powers to levy and collect taxes on various goods and services. So accordingly, both levels, both central and state will have the powers to levy and collect indirect taxes in India. Therefore, the concurrent dual GST model has been adopted. Next, the concurrent dual GST model would be a dual levy imposed concurrently by the center and the states but independently. That means here in the concurrent dual GST model, both center and state will levy simultaneously but independently. They need not depend upon the others. Okay. Both center and states will operate over a common base, that is, the base for levy and imposition of duty tax liability would be identical. So, in the concurrent dual GST model, whatever the rules of CGST, the same rules are followed in the SGST. So, therefore, there may not be any differences in the levying or imposition or the calculation of tax liability either by the central government or state government. Next, structure of dual GST model. So GST in India is a dual GST framework wherein center will levy and administer CGST and IGST, while respective states, union territories will levy and administer SGST or UTGST. This structure is like this. So CGST, Central Goods and Service Tax, is levied by the central government on intra-state supply of goods or services. Intra-state supply of goods and services, this is GST. And in the same manner, GST or UTGST. It is known as State Goods and Service Tax Act, Service Tax or Union Territory Goods and Service Tax. It is levied by state or union territories. It also levied on intra-state supply of goods and services. So, in the case of intra-state services, both the CGST and the SGST or UTGST is combinedly levied and collected by central and state governments or union territory governments. IGST, Integrated Goods and Service Tax. It is levied by the central government and it is levied on interstate supply of goods and services. Interstate supply of goods and services means the goods and services which are supplied to other than a native state. So that is called interstate supply of goods or services. So accordingly, the CGST, Central Goods and Service Tax, is a tax levied in India on intrastate supplies, of both goods and services by the central government and will be governed by the CGST Act. Next, SGST also will be levied on the same intrastate transaction and will be governed by the state governments. Next, SGST is the tax levied on intrastate supply of both goods and services by the state governments and will be governed by the SGST Act of respective state governments. Okay, so CGST will also be levied on the same intrastate supply and will be governed by the central government. Next, in case of UTGST is levied and collected by the concerned union territory government as per their concerned union GST Act. So the only difference is the tax revenue goes to the treasury for respective administration of union territory where the goods and services have finally been consumed. There is a key difference between union territory and the states. The union territory directly comes under the supervision of central government and does not have its own elected government as in case of states. It's called union GST. But some some union territories may have its independent structure. They have the uh, separate governments when compared with the other. So Lakshadweep, there are 8 union territories: Lakshadweep, Dadra Nagar Haveli, and Daman Diu, Andaman Nicobar Island, Delhi, Pondicherry, Ladakh, Jammu and Kashmir. These are the various union territories. Among these, Delhi and Pondicherry or Puducherry, these two are having separate state governments. Okay, so they will levy SGST, not UTGST, because they are considered as states. Okay, so IGST, Integrated Goods and Services Tax. So IGST is levied on all interstate supplies of goods and services and will be governed by the IGST Act. This IGST Act will be applicable on any supply of goods or services in both cases of import into India and export from India. So on imports and exports also the IGST will be levied. Under IGST, exports would be zero rated and tax will be shared between the central and the state government. So whatever the IGST levied and collected by the central government, it is shared between the central government and concerned state governments where the goods have been consumed. So an example for IGST, a business consider a businessman Rajesh from Maharashtra had sold goods to Anand from Gujarat worth rupees 1 lakh. The GST is 18% comprised of 18% IGST. In such cases, the dealer has to charge 18,000 as IGST. This IGST will go to the central government. Okay. So the difference between what is the difference between SGST, CGST, and IGST? So SGST stands for State Goods and Service Tax. CGST stands for Central Goods and Service Tax. IGST stands for Integrated Goods and Service Tax. Meaning, what is the meaning of SGST? SGST is one of the components of GST levied and collected by the respective state governments on intra-state supplies. Such as tax is governed by the state GST Act. Next, CGST is another component of GST levied and collected by the central government on intra-state supply, on intra-state supplies. Such a tax is levied and governed by the central CGST Act. And in the same manner, IGST. IGST is the third component of GST levied by the central government. And this IGST, whatever the IGST collected by the central government, is shared between the center and the concerned state governments, where the consumption of goods and services takes place. Next, applicability. SGST is applicable in case of intra-state supplies, where the location of the supplier and the place of supply are in the same state or union territory. And CGST is also applicable in case of intra-state supply, where the location of the supplier or the place of supply are in the same state or union territory. Next, IGST is applicable in case of interstate supply. Interstate supply, where the location of the supplier and the place of supply are in two different states and two different union territories, or one state and one union territory. Next, taxes replaced. SGST replaces the VAT, value added tax or sales tax, luxury tax, off-price, entertainment tax, purchase tax, tax on betting. All these taxes are replaced by the SGST Act, SGST State Goods and Service Tax. Next, CGST. CGST replaces the central excise duty, service tax, additional customs duty, additional excise duty imposed under the medicinal and toiletry preparation, special additional duty of customs. All these taxes have been replaced by the CGST. Next, as per as the who will collect the tax? Who will collect the tax? SGST is collected by the concerned state government, and CGST is collected by the central government, and IGST is collected by the central government. Okay. Claim of ITC. The claim of SGST is credit is available only against SGST and IGST in the same order. So input tax credit availability is for claiming the SGST tax, only from SGST tax and IGST tax they can claim the input tax credit. The claim of CGST is available only against CGST and IGST in the same order. So CGST input tax credit is available only from CGST and IGST in the same order. Next, the claim of IGST is available against IGST only. CGST and SGST in the same order. So that means IGST is input tax rate of IGST is made available. IGST, CGST and SGST. That means first IGST input tax is can be claimed from IGST, or if it is not available, then from CGST you can claim. If it is not available, then SGST you can avail. Next, applicability of composition scheme. A registered taxpayer can apply for the composition scheme if his aggregate annual turnover is up to 1.5 lakhs. So, in case of SGST, the composition scheme, if his turnover is less than 1.5 crores, then they can apply for the composition scheme. Next, a registered taxpayer can apply for the composition scheme if his aggregate turnover up to 1.5 crores. So, in the same manner, for CGST also, the traders or the suppliers whose business is up to 1.5 crores, then they can apply for the composition scheme. Next, composition scheme is not applicable in case of interstate suppliers. In case of interstate supply, that is where the IGST is collected. In case of interstate supplies, this composition scheme is not applicable. Next, registration limit. Turnover, taxpayer is not required to register under GST if aggregate turnover is up to 20 lakhs, and in case of special category of states it was 10 lakhs. And in the same manner CGST also, if their turnover is less than 20 lakhs or 10 lakhs, they need not register for them. But IGST, as far as the IGST is concerned, there is no registration limit. Registration is mandatory in case of IGST because it is interstate transaction. Okay. Next, what are the important features of dual GST model? So important GST shall have two components levied by center referred to as the central GST, and the other levied by states referred to as the state GST. Central GST and the state GST would be applicable to all transactions or services. Okay. The central GST and state GST are to be paid to the accounts of center and the states individually. So CGST goes to the central government and the SGST goes to the state government. It is separate. So central GST and state GST are to be treated individually. Therefore, taxes paid against central government shall be allowed taken as input tax credit. So input tax credit also is can be claimed against to those who have paid. If you have paid CGST, then the input tax credit of CGST is allowed. If you have paid state GST, then input tax credit of SGST is allowed. Next, cross-utilization of ITC between center and the state would not be permitted except in case of interstate supply of goods and services. Cross-utilization of ITC between central and the states would not be permitted except in case of interstate supply of goods and services. Okay. So, credit accumulation on account of refund of GST should be avoided by both central and the states except in case such as exports, purchase of capital goods, input tax at a higher rate than output tax, etc. So credit accumulation on account of GST refund should be avoided. There should not be any accumulation. Next, uniform procedure for collection of both central and the state GST would be prescribed in the respective legislation for CGST and SGST. So there is no difference in the procedures. There is no difference in the procedures adopted or followed for state GST and central GST. Next, composition scheme for the purpose of GST should have an upper ceiling on gross annual turnover and floor tax rate with respect to gross annual turnover. So for registering under the composition scheme, there is a upper ceiling above of which cannot be allowed. Next, taxpayer would need to submit periodical returns in common format as far as possible to both central authority and the state authority. So there will be always a common returns format to be submitted by the registered person. Each taxpayer would be allotted a PON-linked taxpayer identity number with a total of 14 or 15 digits. So whoever all the registered persons will be allowed a PON-linked uh, ID number, identification number with a total of 14 or 15 digits number. Okay, so the these are the important features of the dual GST model followed in India. Okay, okay, there are several benefits and um, among these dual GST model. Already we have learned. So reduction in number of taxes at central and state level after implementation of the GST, the number of taxes reduced. Next, decrease in the effective tax rate for many goods. The effective tax rate has been reduced due to introduction of the GST, and the cascading effect has been removed. That means that the tax on tax has been reduced. Next, reduction of transaction cost is another advantage of the dual GST model. Next, increased tax collection due to wide tax base and better compliance. So after implementation of the GST in India, the tax base has been widened. Most of the people come under the umbrella of GST, umbrella of GST. As a result, the income from indirect taxes to the central government as well as state governments has increased, uh, increased in a significant manner. Okay, so these are the features, differences, and advantages of the dual GST model. Okay, thank you very much for joining the class. జాయిన్ అయిన వాళ్ళు నెంబర్కి వచ్చేసి ఎగ్జిట్ అయిపోండి.